Hey guys, my name is Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. This video is a guide for those looking to walk from Chamonix, France to Zermatt, Switzerland on the Walker Haute route. This video has chapters, so feel free to jump around. And also, if you have any questions, I can be contacted on my Instagram at Carrie W. Mercer. I'm happy to help if I can. The Walker Haute route is about a 115-mile point-to-point trail connecting two iconic mountains in the European Alps, Mont Blanc in France and the Matterhorn near Zermatt, Switzerland. This hike is more challenging than the Tour de Mont Blanc, but I think with some preparation, most people can do this hike in 8 to 12 days. There's a ladder section that can be a little tricky. The first rung is a little high up, so maybe a challenge if you're shorter, but I think there's another trail over that pass, so possible to avoid the ladders. Should you camp or book accommodations for this trail? Wild camping is allowed above the tree line in Switzerland, but for the Walker Haute route, there are plenty of nice mountain huts and hotels along the way. The mountain hut I stayed in was called the Cabane du Mori. I booked it online. I think with a lot of the mountain huts you can book online or by calling, and some of the more popular ones, it's best to book in advance. I initially did some grocery shopping in Chamonix. For the rest of the trip, I ate in mountain huts and resupplied as needed. There are plenty of food options along the way, so really not necessary to carry too much food weight. For water, I used a Catadine B-free water filter. I rarely carried more than half a liter. There are lots of water sources along the way. As far as cash goes, I don't really think it's that necessary to have. For most of my purchases, I used my phone with contactless payment. I think I did bring some cash just in case. So euros for France and Swiss francs for Switzerland. When is the best time to go? I hiked end of August, and it was very warm to start, and then it got very cold by the end near Zermatt, Switzerland. So I think the best time to go is likely June through maybe mid-August. By end of August, it was already snowing, so it's possible that weather would be fine through end of August or early September, but it seems like it can be pretty likely too. So best to be flexible also, just in case the weather comes in. But yeah, June through I would say early to mid-August. How expensive is this hike? Well, it is pretty expensive. Hiking in Switzerland, it's going to be expensive, right? I think the Cabane du Mori, I think I paid about $100, and the hotels I stayed at, I think were around $140. The hotels, breakfast was included, and I think with the mountain hut, both dinner and breakfast was served. So that is, again, part of the cost, so not too bad there. But really between everything, I think, it all adds up. So the train rides, the cable car rides, the food, accommodations. So it's going to be expensive hiking the Walker Haute route. All right, so what clothing should you bring on this hike? Best to bring clothing for all weather conditions. For me, it was really hot and very cold. Also, there's many exposed sections, so a long sleeve sun hoodie works really well. So how to get to the start of this hike? I think flying into Geneva and taking a bus over to Chamonix would be the easiest way to start this hike. There are many buses and trains operating in the area. Navigating the Walker Haute route is pretty easy. Trails are well marked with painted stripes and yellow metal signposts. I also used AllTrails on my phone, so navigating was pretty easy for the Walker Haute route. Okay guys, now I'm going to use AllTrails to show the trail and point out a few things all along the way here. So you have Geneva over here, Chamonix, Mont Blanc, and then Zermatt, Switzerland, Matterhorn over here. I deviated a little bit on the first day. The trail, as you can see here, starts over here in Mont Blanc, goes up the valley and over into Switzerland. What I did though, I took the cable car up the mountain on this side and then walked across here and slept the first night at the lake. So let me show you right here at this lake, which I recommend doing. You get some really nice views looking back across here, back looking at Mont Blanc. So you could either do maybe some day hikes in the area before starting the Walker Hut route, or instead of taking say a bus and start walking somewhere in this area, yeah, you could go up the mountain. So I think that's I think that was a good alternative trail to try. And then that second day, so I camped there that first night at the lake. Then the second day, walked down, and then got back on the all trails for the Walker Hut route, going over this pass. Right in here is where you cross over from France into Switzerland. There's also a nice refuge right here. So for say lunch or something, which I had lunch there, that was a nice stop. And then from there it's downhill down into Trion, and then from there it's up again. So this is going to be up, nice path through the trees. This is all kind of uphill a little bit. That second night I wild camped right here. It was dark, so I made that choice. So but there are camping spots down in Champé, so getting down here is a good camping spot. But for me, that started the start of the third day. I walked down through Champé, around the nice lake there, and down this section, down into this next valley. So I traversed all of this here, crossing some flat land here, and then around there's a cable network, cable cars that go up here. I decided I wasn't feeling all that great the first few days, so I decided to take the cable car up to right about, I think right around this area right here. I think the cost might have been somewhere around $25. But I do think this section is worth skipping. You have a lot of elevation gain, and it really isn't going to be the best part of the trail. So for me, it was nicer getting here in the early afternoon, mid-afternoon, and then taking the cable car up and then walking this section. This section is nice to walk right here. Right, this section here, you have nice mountains here. Then looking across to, you have beautiful views of right here, and as well as looking back across and seeing the mountains back over there. So for me, that made sense to do that kind of deviation, right? Taking the cable cars up. And that third night, I think I slept in my tent somewhere right around here. That next morning, I followed all trails up over this pass. It was pretty steep and really not the best trail, I would say. So it'd be better. What I wish I would have done is follow a trail that leads around this section here and then over to this spot. So that's one thing I would have done. Staying here longer gives you better views of the mountains over here. But anyways, you pick up the trail up and over this. Have some nice views of the lakes down in here. And then that afternoon, early afternoon, I stopped right around here. Yeah, there's a looking for it, but there's a refuge right around here somewhere. Yeah, right here. So there's a refuge cabinet right here. I had lunch here before continuing up this pass and down to the lake. But this would be a good spot for the night. The food was good here, so that would be a nice spot. But my third night, I walked down here and then camped right around in here, right on the road. Nobody was around and it was late. A lot of thunder and lightning that night. But yeah, that was the end of the third day, beginning of the fourth, early morning. Walked this and saw some people walking up this way. I think there's a hut somewhere around here. But here's where you're gonna have the ladder section. It's right in this spot, right here. But I believe right around here there's another way to go up. But yeah, right here is where you're gonna have the ladders to climb. And like I mentioned, first rung is a little high, so kind of tough to reach. But other than that, really not too bad. Get some nice views up here though, looking out that way. So I put the drone up there. It was a nice spot. And then I continued that day walking down. The rain started picking up. So by this time when I reached down here, it was raining pretty good. I kept following the trail down. If I remember right, there were some nice places to stay in this region too. Some nice hotels. But I kept continuing down in the rain, and I reached this spot here. This is where I decided to stay in a hotel on night 4 because of the rain. I couldn't get I just thought it would be best to stop, so I stopped right here at this hotel. I highly recommend that spot. I had a nice sauna and a jacuzzi. Breakfast was really, really good. So that was an excellent hotel to stop at. And then the forecast for that next day, day 5 I believe, was more rain. So this climb up, there's a lot of elevation gain that next day. And I got into some, there's a decent amount of rain up here at the top. But as you can see, really from this little town, it's really all the way, it's up most of the way. So yeah, I got a decent amount of rain at the pass here. And then down, you have this nice lake. And so this decline wasn't too bad. Kind of cleared up actually. The weather cleared up, the sun came out for just a little bit. So you get down here, and from there, that's when you have to climb up to the Cabinet du Mori, which is right here. So that's the one mountain hut I booked. Highly recommend this one spot. It's actually absolutely beautiful with the glacier here, surrounded by the mountains. And it's a really nice mountain hut, very well designed and well built. So that was a good spot. It snowed that night, so we had a group of hikers really from the hut walk down in the snow that day, and that was interesting. That was kind of an exciting morning, walking down in the snow. Because of the snow that day, I really wasn't able to continue my plan route of following and then going up here and down. There was again too much snow really, so in the snow and the cold, walked down past this lake, and we had to keep walking. There were no cars were coming up, or buses for that matter, so we walked down to, I believe, this town right here, and then took the bus down the canyon down to this town here, and that's where I slept in the hotel. Was able to warm up and clean up, that kind of thing. So, and then that next day took the train over to Visp, which then I was able to take the train up and then stop here. With that storm coming in, I missed some sections, so I missed going up over this mountain pass and down. I missed this area here, up and down, and then also down here. And so unfortunately, with that snow that came in, I missed quite a few nice sections of the trail, so that was kind of a bummer. But you know, you have to be flexible, and there really was a lot of rain, so snow rather, a lot of snow. But yeah, that last day though, I took the train up to here, and I followed the all trails through the valley and finished at Zermatt. What I would recommend, and what I wish I would have done differently, is I wish from here there are paths where you can head up into the mountains here, and I wish I would have done that. There's a nice suspension bridge to cross, as well as another mountain hut, which I should be able to find here, but it's called the Europa hut, I believe, and that would have been a nice place to stay. I'm not finding it right away. I don't remember exactly where it is, but yeah, go up into the mountains here, and I believe it's you go up from here, I believe, or maybe there's probably multiple ways to go, but I think Randa. I remember Randa. Yeah, so I think Randa might be the spot where a lot of people go up using these trails. But that is one deviation I definitely would have done and recommend, because then you're up higher, you're kind of coming down, you know, you're up high in the mountains coming down into Zermatt. This last day really wasn't all that great, walking here. And then the next day I was able to get some clear shots of the Matterhorn before taking the train back down, which finishes in Visp. Then hopped on another train, took it all the way over, I think, into here. Yeah, I stopped here. Then you take one more final train up over the mountains, back through here, I believe, down to Chamonix. So overall, really nice part of the Alps. Highly recommend this trail. And if you have any questions, like I said, my Instagram is Carrie W. Mercer. Happy to help. That I probably missed a few things, so any specific questions, please, shoot them right over to me. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.